Judy Berkeley. I'm the director of the LVN to RN program here at Mission College. I've been teaching at Mission College since 2008. And this is my last year before I say goodbye. So it's nice that I get an opportunity to talk about the programs that we have in health occupations. I put up here, hopefully you can see my screen, right? This is what's available on the college website under nursing. All of the information for all of our programs are listed here. We have a new program that I'm not very familiar with, but it's the pharmacy tech program that it's just come under our department. So I'm sorry to say that I don't have a lot of information about it, but if you are interested in becoming a pharmacy tech, the information is here for you. We also have a community health worker, a nursing assistant program, a vocational nursing program, and the LVN to RN accelerated bridge program. One of the things that we are required is to have information for veterans. So we do have some options for veterans. It's kind of a form that's a little bit, or can be a little bit confusing to veterans, but because our LVN to RN program is an accelerated bridge program and not a regular 2-year RN program, the option that we can offer veterans usually is when and if you are eligible for the program, you are automatically enrolled. So you don't have to go through the process of the lottery drawing. So when you meet the eligibility requirements, you are then automatically enrolled in the next cohort. For the VN program, and that difficulty comes from medic. A lot of people coming out of a lot of veterans are medics, and the skill set for a medic is very different. Yeah, I heard it, Justin. Yeah, the skill set for a medic is very different than one for a nurse. The foundational skills that are needed are very different. So it's difficult for us to get that approved from any of the boards. So typically you'd have to start, at the beginning. So let me talk a little bit about the programs I am familiar with. And then maybe we can talk a little bit more about how to get eligible for a program. I'm going to switch my sharing. So in order to be eligible for any of our programs, can you guys see this? Hopefully you can. Am I not sharing? Okay, hold on a second. All right, let's see. Sorry. There we go. Hopefully you can see that, right? Okay, so. All right, so we have what we call a ladder or a tracking ladder for any of our health occupation programs. Now, the first one that you can apply for is a community health worker, which takes 1 year to get a certificate for, and that allows you to go into people's homes and help people with their basic care needs, like showering and things like that. And the next one that's available is a nursing assistant. The requirements for a nursing assistant are very low key. It doesn't really require a lot. You have to be 18, have to have a social security number, a tax ID number, government ID, driver's license, and then apply to Mission College. And that's it. If you meet those requirements, typically we run 2 or 3 programs a year. It's in the summer, it's 12 weeks. In the summer, and during the semester, it's a full semester. And then once you finish, you have to apply for testing through the state for a certificate. once you finish that, then you would be eligible to apply for the next level or the next rung in the ladder, which would be a vocational nursing program. So the requirements for vocational nursing are anatomy and physiology, a high school diploma, a GED, or an AS degree. I'm sorry, is this really small?
No, it's fine.
Okay. And I can see Justin put his head up there. I thought maybe it was really small. And a CNA certificate in good standing. So as you can see, in order to move from one level to the next, you have to start out somewhere. And most students start out in CNA, and then they move through the program. Marsha Oliver is the director of the vocational nursing program, and all of her information is available, her contact information, on that original page that I showed earlier. Of course, the vocational nursing program is a little bit different because they're a point-based program. So if you have these 3 items here, which are prerequisites, then they give you points. There are points given for each one of these other courses here, whether you take them at Mission or somewhere else, it doesn't matter. Right? And they take students, 80% of the students that are taken into the cohort have the highest points. And then 20% are randomly drawn from whoever's left in the application pool. Currently, we have 2 cohorts of vocational nursing running. It runs 3 semesters. And then starting in the spring, we'll have 3 cohorts running. So there'll be a new cohort beginning every semester for vocational nursing. We take 30 students right now because of COVID and all the problems with hospitals and clinical sites for students. We've had to reduce our numbers because we can't get placements in the hospital for students to do training. All of our courses are in person. We don't offer any online courses currently. We had to apply for waivers from the state to do that during COVID because nursing is one of those occupations that's pretty much hands-on. It's very difficult to train nurses without being in person. Although we do have 2 labs, 2 simulation labs that are used by the vocational nurses and the registered nursing students every week, where this is a safe place to practice some of those more complicated skills that maybe you don't want to practice on a real person, right? At least not the first time you do it, right? Okay, and then we also give points for work experience for vocational nursing, any other programs that you've completed, like if you're a medic, they would give you credit for that. I don't know how much credit that they give. I think it's a couple of points. And then any microbiology or other chemistry or biology courses that you've taken, you get credit for. Any questions so far? No? Okay. All right. And then the registered nursing program. So the registered nursing program at Mission is an accelerated bridge program. That means that we take normally a 2-year RN program and we cram it into 9 months. So we have a lot of students that apply that struggle because they're not recognizing that it is accelerated. So that means that, like I said, it's really intense. And we don't recommend that students work very much during the program. We recommend that they really focus on the school and the activities and class and coursework. Because in a class that, you have maybe a 3-hour lecture class, you might have 6 hours of homework, a week in that class. So it is very intense in terms of how much time you need to study for it. We give 12 units of credit. It is not an ADN degree program. It requires that you be eligible for an ADN degree when you finish. So I know that there's a lot of people, it's a little confusing. So we don't automatically give you a degree when you finish the program. So in order to take the NCLEX, though, you must have a degree. So when you apply, we would like, when people apply, that they're eligible for the degree when they finish. So they don't have to wait long after they finish the program to take the state boards and get licensed. Because the longer you wait after you finish the program, the less likely you are to pass the exam. So we do give 12 units of credit for LVN licensure. Anatomy, physiology, both need to be separate and in-person lab courses. Microbiology, the same. Up until spring, this spring, 2022, we did allow for online labs because COVID restricted many schools, including our own, from providing labs in person in microphysiology and anatomy. So we're back to in-person. So we're not accepting any online science courses after spring. English composition, C or higher. Also not on here, but public speaking is a required course, prerequisite course. And then we have some other prerequisites for or things that are needed in order to be eligible. So we have several different, there are actually 5 different areas that you have to meet in order to become eligible to apply, which makes it a little bit difficult, but it doesn't stop several hundred students from applying, I can tell you that. So the overall GPA in the all college courses, overall GPA in the science courses, TEAS test, which is an online testing, an online test given through a testing organization where you're required to score a 62% or higher. It doesn't mean that you're not eligible, but it does mean if you don't score that high, that you have to remediate with myself or Ms. Hartman before you, and take it again and pass it before you become eligible. So we have prerequisites, your LVN license, the 2 overall GPAs, and the TEAS test. And if that's not enough, we also have what's called the Chancellor's Formula that was given to us by the State Chancellor's Office, where if you meet all of these requirements, you automatically would be eligible because it gives you a score high enough in the formula. It's only when you start manipulating these grades around that you could become ineligible depending on what your grades are in the prerequisite courses. So my recommendation is for anybody who is planning on coming into nursing or any of the health occupation courses that you meet with our nursing liaison counselors. We have quite a few in the school right now that are focused on nursing. And so they're very aware and very knowledgeable about all of the eligibility requirements. The LVN RN program only admits students once a year currently. We're still looking for more faculty so that we can increase our numbers, but right now that's it. Like I said, Marsha Oliver is the LVN program. Cynthia Anderson is the director of the NA program. But all of our faculty information is available. Where am I at? Oh, I lost my page. Okay. So that was a lot of information. The LVN to RN program has been in place since 2008. The vocational nursing program has been in place for almost 35 years at Mission College. Also, our NA program has been in place for around that time as well. So we have longstanding history in the community. We love taking veterans. I have several veterans in the program currently doing very well.